Let the record show 7 members are present. Mr. Schultz and Ms. McCarty are absent. If we could stand and say the prayer by Mr. Champagne and the pledge by Mr. Newsom.
Begin, I'd like to take a moment for Mr. Jose Ned, a former council member and fine gentleman who was part of Blackman's Parish who recently passed. Please keep him and his family in your thoughts and prayers as we begin this opening prayer. We take this moment to acknowledge Almighty God and thank Him for our bountiful blessings, especially for the parish's natural resources. We give thanks to God for our brave and courageous men and women in our military who daily risk their lives to protect our precious freedom, and we pray for our world leaders to know how to obtain world peace. We pray that this government body, comprised of both council and administration, will always serve our parish with honesty, humility, and equality for all. And as this government body gathers here today, we pray for the wisdom to know right from wrong and the courage to do that which is right. Amen.
Amen. Please face the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let the record show Ms. McCarty's at the desk now. There's no executive session, proclamations.
Like this. On motion of Councilmember Reverend Edwards, seconded by all council members, and on roll call, all members present and voting yes, the following proclamation was unanimously adopted. A proclamation declaring September 5th, 2026 as Hosea Ned Jr. Day in the parish of Plaquemines. Whereas Mr. Jose Ned Jr. was a proud native of Plaquemines Parish and a proud product of the community of Phoenix. He was a distinguished graduate of Phoenix High School, class of 1967, Southern University, class of 1972, and Loyola University Institute of Politics. And whereas he served as a congressional aide to Representative Bob Livingston from 1977 to 1999 and remained his friend until his death. As Executive Assistant for Minority Affairs to Governor Dave Treen from 1981 to 1984, as District 1 Council Member from 1990 to 1998, and as Director of Operations for 2002 to 2004, and whereas Mr. Hosea Ned Jr. was a highly respected leader in the Plaquemines Parish and in the state of Louisiana, and was respected by Democrats, Republicans, and independents alike. Whereas, as the owner of Louisiana Commodity Company, an international company operating in South America and the United States, he financed and opened the first solely owned African-American pharmacy in Kenner, Louisiana. Whereas Mr. Ned was the developer of affordable housing projects in Plaquemines Parish and throughout Louisiana. Whereas he was instrumental in negotiating a contract with the New Orleans International Airport to provide screening and testing services for international travelers. And whereas the Plaquemines Parish government and community recognizes that Mr. Hosea Ned Jr. unselfishly committed his talents and energies to improving the lives of others, particularly those his beloved Plaquemines Parish family. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Plaquemines Parish government hereby establishes September 5th, 2026 as Hosea Ned Jr. Day in honor of his abiding love for and the exemplary service as an ambassador to all citizens of his beloved parish.
And with that, Mr. Edwards, you offer? And unanimous second, anybody object? Okay, machine's open.
God. It's glare. It's glare.
And it passes 8-0. Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, again, I
Can you-
want to,
can-
first of all, thank the council member for suspending the rules for this to happen. I want to
did it if it wasn't because of Jose Ned. He died on Sunday, so they give him a lot of. So I really want to thank the sport. I want to thank Mr. Hinckley and the administration for all the support that they have given toward this project. I think Jose speaks for himself. If you will in this council, I know Dr. Good would know him. Unlike me, he brought a lot of financial skills and background from experience working, in a governor's mansion and work with congressional. So he understood budget process. And so I think that Dr. Good and other people work with him in administration could talk about the skills that he brought as a councilman. I wish I had nearly the skills that he brought from me. He was a role model for me. And I told him, I said, if I could just be half of the council member, I would be successful. So again, he's loved by this community. He taught Phoenix, taught school at Phoenix. So again, he loved all of Blackman Parish. And so again, I think he's going to be missed. And I think he left a legacy for all of us to admire. So again, I thank this council for agreeing to do his funeral will be on next Saturday. So I thank you all for just doing this small token of recognition for him. I know Mr. LaFrance, knowing well, because during the time he was in the hospital, he called. So again, we're losing another one of, not the finest, but another one of Blackman Parish finest citizen and the finest elected official in the parish of Blackman Parish. So again, on behalf of not only Jose Ned, but his family and all of us in downtown Phoenix, we appreciate this honor that you all are bestowing upon our beloved brother.
Thank you, Mr. Edwards. Yes.
Councilmember Edwards, is anyone here for the?
No.
Okay, just checking.
Anybody from the audience would like to speak? Administration? Council? Mr. LaFrance?
Yes, I had the opportunity to know Mr. Ned. Him and my uncle, best of friends, John Butler, and that's how I got to know him. And like you said, Reverend Evans, he was a very respectable man, and there was times that I needed some question answered, and I reached out to him, and he helped to explain some of the things to me. Again, truly a great man. He will deeply be missed, especially the people in the parish and the people from South Southsea.
Yeah.
That's it? Okay, thank you.
I don't appreciate you connecting with John Butler, but I'll leave that alone for another time.
Thank you. Okay, next item, administration update.
Can I say one thing before you start?
Yes, sir. You still got, or you just turn yourself off. There you go.
I'm gonna just say to Reverend Evans, if any situation comes up again, like this situation with me, please give me my flowers while I'm living.
Yes.
I got a nice Catholic friend.
Mr. Hingley,
So the District 5 concrete.
hold up a second. Try it.
So
Yeah.
phase
No.
one.
It's not on.
Not on. Try it now.
Yes, okay, there we go. So District 5 concrete package, Phase 1, which is Victoria Drive and Cambridge Drive, the bids came in favorable. So now we'll be able to include some additional locations to that scope of work. The EOC construction and the Port Sulphur Clearwell replacement projects, notices of awards have been sent out, so those projects are going to be moving forward. The Key Plaquemines Parish Beautiful Committee is hosting the Love the Waterways Community Cleanup along Grand Bayou on September the 12th at 9:30 a.m. with support of volunteers provided by Venture Global and Cuvion Services. That's what we have this session here.
Thank you. I have a question. Boothville Pump, are we rebuilding the pump?
I'm sorry.
The Boothville Pump that we supposed to be rebuilding?
Duvic Pump Station,
Yeah.
Boothville. Yes, that is underway to have that one that's torn down rebuilt.
Yeah, I was just checking on it to see
Yes.
where we at with
It's,
it.
it's still under that design. The engineering firm is working on that, putting the scope of work into a design so it could be put to public bid. It has not gone to public bid yet. Still waiting on that.
Thank you.
So,
Yes.
on that same situation, we're also going to be moving forward with a new station there, because the station is really in
bad shape. So the process to do that is going to be about a 3-year to be able to, we're going to have to study the basin, the whole hydrology, the water aspect of things for a new station there. So we're going to be moving forward with that. So this 800,000 that we're spending, this is a necessary evil that we have to do. But we're looking at a 3 to 4 year project by the time we start doing what we're doing right now till we come completion to where we can move forward with a new station in that area.
Yeah, because somebody had called me about that and
Yeah.
asked me if I wanted it done. I said, as long as we keep rebuilding the old pump, because I know that get a new one's gonna take years to get,
Right.
and
No,
a
and-
lot more money.
And we are moving forward with the repair, but it's a pretty substantial repair. It's just,
Yeah.
the facility is just, it's gone.
And I know we dredged the canal not too long ago. We dug the weeds out, but behind, the place who calls up all the time, I forget the name of the business, but Fin and Feathers is back to growed up again. And he,
We'll look at it and then get with you about it, follow up on that.
thank you. Ms. McCarty?
Mr. Hinckley, thank you for mentioning the District 5 concrete package. I've been told by engineering that we need a total of 1.8 million to do all the work that's necessary in Noble Manor. And residents of Victoria particularly are contacting me not only because 2 people have been injured, one, a strong letter I received, but also because the cement does this, and particularly when it rains, but when they drive next to their driveway, the cement teeter-totters. So I know that we are attacking this on Victoria, particularly in sections, and I'm glad to be moving forward with this. But can we work to try and get the full amount? Today I have an ordinance for 600,000 additional, only because I didn't think I'd be able to get asked for the full amount.
That's a council movement right there, so that's,
Okay.
that's with you and your colleagues. You get us the money, we'll take care of it.
Well, we'll see later on that we've got other projects that are being moved forward from administration, being funded, not for safety projects. So
There-
we'll
there
talk about that
again-
later.
There again, that's just a suggestion. I'm sure there's the members on this council, they're going to take that and they're going to do as they wish with that as well. So
Okay,
just
thank you.
work with your colleagues.
Exactly, thank you.
Mr. Jurasich?
Yes, this is a question for Mr. DeMarco. Yesterday, I received a phone call from one of the plant managers at Daybrook Fisheries. That lift station, I know we funded that lift station. It should be, they're saying it's really crumbling bad, and they get, the big trucks, the big oil tankers and all that go in and out of there. It's getting really scary for them. So what's the status of that?
There's been a couple of setbacks on that project. It's been far too long. We've been dealing with this project without any movement on it. The first setback was they started to mobilize and they did a site visit, and they realized that they had some overhead power lines that would have interfered with driving the pylons for the foundation. And Entergy wouldn't work with us to move or temporarily relocate those lines. It would have put down a lot of services in that area. So they had to go to the drawing board and redesign those pylons. They came up with helical piles. And, of course, that had to get approved through the grant. That's got approved. The contractor mobilized. And they went out there and realized there was a sewer manhole that was covered up and was not on the as-built plans. And there was also an AT&T fiber optic line in the way of where the structure, the foundation was going to go. The sewer, the manhole really wasn't an issue because that was a new manhole, a new line was built into the project. But the fiber line was the issue, and AT&T was pretty slow to respond. But the latest update I got, which was maybe earlier this week, that they've got the materials, they finally responded. They got the materials, they got the permits to start the relocate of that fiber optic. That should be done next week. So we're getting towards the end of the time for that grant. So you should be seeing some progress on that within the next week or two. AT&T said they would be out there next week to do that relocation on that fiber optic line. It's been a long time coming for this project, but I hope we're going to start seeing some movement here in the next 2 weeks.
Thank you, but if they don't come move that fiber optic line by next week, cut it.
I'll put your name on that, sir.
Put it, I'll come cut it. Because the lift station's standing up, it's instead of, thank you. Mr. Newsom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One thing, Jeff, you rang a bell, the AT&T fiber optic, I don't know if, while they had it, please go down the road first and take care of that issue, because that's way more important. But we do have a fiber optic AT&T line on Highway 11 in Bell Chase, right after you come off of Highway 23, right there on the right-hand side. It's hanging real low. The resident said something about maybe a tractor might have clipped it on the top. Of course, they can't see it. So if you get a chance, reach out on, I think we had put a work request in for that.
Where was that exactly?
It's on Highway 11 in Bell Chase and Jesuit Bend, coming off of Highway 23 it'd be on the north side of Highway 11.
Okay.
If you go down Highway 11, you look to the right, you can't miss it. So
Okay.
It's hanging real low. Okay. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything? Bids and advertisements,
There are none.
beer and liquor license. The public went first. Oh, you got something to say? Come on up. No, I didn't know. I thought you was just standing up.
Let's see, not yet. Clarence Block, 156 Enos Campbell Lane. Mr. President didn't say anything about the lift station, but one of the other guys called lift station. We have a hole that's been like 10 years right now, and I fixed it like twice, and it's a sewer line had a hole in it. Now the hole is coming back again, and the kids catch the bus right there. And that hole, the pipe got to be but 7 or 8 feet down in the ground, and I'm supposed to go talk to somebody, so, and I think they had a few changes over there, so I'm going to definitely go talk to the guy that's in charge on that side of the river.
If you see the man sitting right behind you, give
Right
him the
there.
address.
Yeah, but I'm going to talk to his #1 man. It's in Devant, right there in front of Reverend Cross House. Right next to Reverend Cross House, a nice hole. It's right now, but where I got the trail at. Yeah, it's about right now. The hole may be like 3 feet deep, but it's that big around. And yep, right on. Right, as a matter of fact, it's right in front of my trailer, and that's where the kids catch the bus at, and them kids run from each other every once in a while. So, but I'm gonna talk to the young man. I wasn't gonna bring it up to y'all. I'm gonna take it to the guy, but since y'all brought it up, and I want to say something because you missed us. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. LaFrance.
Mr. Wisters.
146 Mount Zion Lane, Beatrice, Louisiana. Councilman Mitch, is that by the Poke plant, the lift? It is horrible. It's been horrible for years. It has not only the lift, but the highway has a deep dip. I literally have to ride on the opposite side, and if they have a two-way traffic, I just stop completely. I hate to see it, but it's gonna come. An accident is gonna take place there. especially if it's raining and somebody's driving. When I say the dip in front, the lift is here, and the dip on Highway 11 is right here. And when I say that the dip is down, it'll sling your car into that. Just yesterday, I asked Mr. Harold Merrick's, I said, what is that? And he told me a little for the plant. It's gonna be a bad accident right there. I wanna save someone's life. So this is something y'all need to address, like immediately. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Mr. LaFrance?
Yes, great job on cleaning off the wall, that area around the wall, great job.
The Wood Park Wall?
Yes.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, the only thing I recommend is to have it sprayed 2-3 times out the year, and that should take care of it.
We're looking at a couple of different options to avoid
Great,
that.
thank you.
Mr. Edwards?
Until Billy opened his mouth. Made me remind. The grass on the thing, are they gonna come back? Because at one time it was keeping it down toward the dish. I know it's been a long time since they're cutting it.
On the back road?
Yeah,
Yep, they started it the other day, coming down.
yeah. And so
Started in Phoenix, coming down.
I noticed up at Giordano property, they're gonna put asphalt over that. That's because they're moving.
Yeah, the
from
stuff
Dave
from Dave Vance all gonna be set up at the Giordano property.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
It's crushed asphalt, came from the highway work, and that's gonna be like a lay-down yard that we'll have our equipment stuff on.
Okay, thank you.
Billy, I got a question. The A-boom, I was told it's broke, but do we need to buy a new one?
We'd love to have a new one, but no, it's 3 new ones we have now. I think it was a battery issue. If you're talking about the one on the lower end,
Yeah.
I think it was a battery issue or starter issue. It was just, wasn't a major thing. That was just the other day?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it was.
thank you.
You know what it is? You know what it is?
I know, it ain't green.
Or even orange.
Okay, beer and liquor licenses.
A, 6A, Belle Chase Express, 7812 Highway 23, Belle Chase, Louisiana, Councilmember Gui. Cochon Delay located at 13038 Highway 23, Port Sulphur, Louisiana, 70083, on October 17, 2026, starting at 11 a.m. and ending at 6 p.m., Councilmember LaFrance. Citrus Ladies Luncheon on September 12th at the Belle Chase Auditorium, starting at 11 a.m. and ending at 2 p.m., Councilmember Gui.
Mr. Gui offers, Mr. LaFrance seconds. Is there any comments in the audience? Administration, council, machine's open. And that passes 8-0. Building permits.
A, construction permits. Number 1, Blocks LLC, application number 2026-601, application date 7/10/26. Proposed 4-inch flow line from an existing pipeline in the main pass area, revised Block 16 to an existing pipeline in Block 15, main pass, Venice. Councilmember Edwards.
Can you do 1, 2, and 3 together?
Okay. Number 2, Hillcore Energy Company, application number 2026-623, application date 8/10/26, removing pilings, walkway, dock facilities, production equipment, and a tank battery on wells SN 203-05-17, SN 154-560, and SN 167-551/169186 will plug and abandon Lake Washington. Southern Oil of Louisiana, application number 2026, application date 7/1/26, plug and abandonment of SL 12806, number 1/1-D, and removal of caisson supporting well structure in 4-inch pipeline, Brenton Sound area. Councilmember Edwards.
Mr. Edwards, you offer? Mr. Edwards offers there a second. Second by Mr. Juris. Any comments from the audience? Administration, council, machines open. And it passes 6 with 2 abstentions.
B, Morgan Property and Lease Investment, David Morgan, new residence in the floodplain zoning district, 113 Sandpiper Lane, Myrtle Grove, Port Sulphur, Louisiana. Do we want to take both of them? And Hayden Williams, new commercial boat shed in a A2 zoning district, 42713, Highway 23, Venice, Louisiana. Councilmember Konovich.
So offered.
Mr. LaFrance offers, I'll second. Is there any comments from the audience? Administration, council, machines are open. Passes 8-0.
Introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we took them together. Introduction to ordinance and resolutions.
An ordinance to amend Article 7 of Chapter 19 of the Plaquemines Parish Code of Ordinances relative to public right-of-ways and public land excavation permits, Section 19-200 et sec, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto, and that's for Councilmember Konovich. An ordinance to amend the 2026 manpower structure and otherwise to provide with respect thereto, Councilmember Konovich. A resolution to provide employees group insurance coverages consisting of medical, vision, dental, and life for the policy period January 1st, 2027 through December 31st, 2027, on an employer-employee contribution basis, 80%, 20%, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Konovich. An ordinance to amend the 2026 general fund operating revenue and expenditure budget, permits, planning, and zoning department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. That is also for Councilmember Konovich. An ordinance to amend and as amended readopt Section 4 of Ordinance Number 142, the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance of Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as amended, and the Comprehensive Zoning District map therein adopted by reference, and which is paraphrased thereto with reference to application number 2026-658, dated July 13th, 2026. That is for Councilmember Jurisic. An ordinance to declare 1/2 of Lot C and 1/2 of Lot D of the Duluth-Moravich Canal subdivision located at Empire Shipyard Facility as surplus property and no longer needed for public purposes and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Jurisic. An ordinance to amend and as amended to readopt Section 4 of Ordinance Number 142, the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance of Plaquemines Parish as amended, and the Comprehensive Zoning District map therein adopted by reference, and which is paraphrased thereto with reference to application number 2026-655, dated July 9th, 2026. Councilmember Gouy. An ordinance to amend and as amended readopt Section 4 of Ordinance Number 142, the Comprehensive Zoning Ordinance of Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as amended, and the Comprehensive Zoning District map therein adopted by reference, and which is paraphrased thereto with reference to application number 2026-656. Councilmember Gouy. An ordinance to establish a residential parking zone on Bradley Place within Plaquemines Parish, restricting parking with the designated residential portion of Bradley Place to resident-owned vehicles and guests of residents, and providing for enforcement and penalties for violation thereof. Councilmember Gouy. The next one is for Councilmember Schultz. An ordinance to amend the 2026 General Fund Operating Expenditure Budget, Parish Council District 3 Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz. An ordinance to amend the 2026 Manpower Structure and Operating Expenditure Budget, and otherwise with respect thereto. Councilmember Schultz. An ordinance approving a plan of re-subdivision of the property of Bilal Zughayer, lots 1B and 2B, Parks of Plaquemines, Phase 1A, Section 2, Township 14 South, Range 24 East, Southeastern District of Louisiana, west of the Mississippi River, Belchase, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, into Lot 1C, Parks of Plaquemines, Phase 1-A, Section 2, Township 14 South, Range 24 East, Southeast District of Louisiana, west on the Mississippi River, Belchase, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as shown on the plan and plat of survey by Dufresne and Dufresne Surveying and Engineering, Inc., dated June 16, 2026. The owner have fulfilled all of the requirements of the subdivision and the re-subdivision ordinance of the parish of Plaquemines without cost to Plaquemines Parish government or the parish of Plaquemines, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne. An ordinance authorizing the creation of a three-way stop and the placement of 2 stop signs at the intersection of Poinsettia Drive and Sunflower Road, Belle Chase, Louisiana. The creation of a westbound stop at the placement of a stop sign at Sunflower Road and Poinsettia Drive, Belle Chase, Louisiana. The creation of an eastbound stop and the placement of a stop sign at Sunflower Road opposite Poinsettia Drive, Belle Chase, Louisiana, to establish penalties for violation thereof and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne. A resolution approving the requested variance by Alma B. Wilson to vary the minimum side yard setback requirement of 7 feet to 2 feet, waiver of 5 feet in the floodplain zoning district for placement of an elevated manufactured home on a portion of ground designated as Village of Ironton, Square 5, Lot 18, 109 Johnson Street, Ironton, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, Section 7, Township 16 South, Range 25 East, all in accordance with application number 2026-656, dated July 13, 2026. And the final one, an ordinance to authorize Plaquemines Parish government to approve a pipeline right-of-way agreement with Cabri Pipeline LLC as guarantee to construct, operate, and maintain one 26-inch natural gas pipeline over and across and under land located in sections 4 and 8, Township 17 South, Range 26 East, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, and authorize the parish president to execute the pipeline right-of-way agreement and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And this is for Councilmember LaFrance, and that is all.
If anybody has any withdrawals of deferral, can you queue in? I know, Mr. Schultz said to defer E. E is in Edwards, O, and E and O. O is an Oscar.
Hey, what do you want to do with them?
He said to go with him.
Okay, he told me to go with it, I know.
He told me to go with the other two, just defer E.
That's up to you.
No, that's,
E and the O.
we have some questions from mosquito control. But we'll talk.
That's the only one y'all wanted is O?
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else have any? Okay. O, yes, O deferred. And with that said, can we move to I?
An ordinance to amend the 2026 operating expenditure budget and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Jurisic.
I offer.
Mr. Jurisic offers, I'll second. Any comments from the audience, administration, council? Machines are open. Passes 8-0. Go back to 9A1.
An ordinance approving a plan of re-subdivision of the property of Kevin Miller, Lot 5B, Manuel Galley Jr. property, Belle Chase Plantation, Section B, Section 9, Township 14 South, Range 25 East, Southeastern District of Louisiana, west of the Mississippi River, Belle Chase, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, into lots 5C, 5D, and 5E, Manuel Galley Jr. property, Belle Chase Plantation, Section B, Section 9, Township 14 South, Range 25 East, Southeastern District of Louisiana, west of the Mississippi River, Belle Chase, Plaquemines Parish, Louisiana, as shown on the plan and plat of survey by Dufresne Surveying and Engineering, Inc., dated November 6, 2025, revised July 7, 2026, the owner having fulfilled all the requirements of the subdivision and the re-subdivision ordinance of the parish of Plaquemines without cost to Plaquemines Parish government or the parish of Plaquemines, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne.
Mr. Champagne offers there a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Edwards. Any comments from the audience?
Arthur Henry, Del Chase. I wish the council approved this deal. Kevin like a neighbor, so I'm for it.
Thank you, Mr. Henry. Any other comments? Yeah, Mr. Henry said vote, we voting.
It's a popularity vote.
The administration, council, it passes 8-0.
Yeah, popularity.
Councilmember Gooey.
Mr. Gooey,
Thank you.
passes 8-0.
An ordinance authorizing the parish president to enter into a franchise agreement with Entergy for the right and privilege to supply electric power and energy throughout Plaquemines Parish, and the rights to acquire, construct, operate, and maintain such plants, structures, transmission lines, distribution systems, and equipment as may be necessary for the generation of power, transportation, distribution, and/or sale of electric power and energy throughout the parish, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Konovich.
I'll offer as for the discussion. Second, do I have a second?
Second discussion.
Yep,
Second.
second by Ms. McCarty. Anything from the audience?
Arthur Henry, Del Chase. Two things I would like to be from the people point of view, not the business point of view, but the people's point of view. 30 years is a long time. I wish we could knock that down. We could knock that down some. And the other thing is, when you change those lights, are you putting LED lights or you putting the regular congestion lights in there? Because you put the LED lights, that will save the parish a good bit amount of money, and the lights will last longer. So I wish that would be taken into consideration.
Thank you. Anyone else? Audience? Administration? Well, the LED, I know.
Yes. Yeah, anytime they change, if it's just a bulb out, then they go back with a bulb, but anytime they change a fixture, they do upgrade it to an LED light.
Or the reason
Same with the parish. Same with the parish lights. We'll upgrade. If we changing a fixture, we upgrade to an LED fixture.
reason I brought it up for discussion, and I'll leave it to the other council members if they want to move on it. He called me yesterday at 2:00 to meet with him, to drive and show him the lights that were out. Well, all of y'all know you can't see a light out at 2:00 in the daytime. But the ones I could remember, we marked, and I think he said 29 or 30 lights we marked just going down the road. He didn't do any going up the road. And I don't think they believed me because he said he sent somebody out and they seen 2 marks on the road. Well, we seen 30 that we could see on the outside the line what DOTD painted over. And they said, well, we only have 80 lights down here. Well, he seen well over 80 lights just on one side of the road. And he said they're gonna do a study and do the whole highway. And because even with his app, they had a bunch of lights that wasn't on the app. And he says they're gonna get around to the ones we marked. But I'll leave it up to y'all if y'all wanna go with this contract or wait to see if they fix one. And I'll leave it up to y'all. Ms. McCarty.
Mr. Barris, is there anything, I see that it says the generation production of energy, but that's for Entergy to generate and produce energy. Is there anything that would prevent the government or a company from selling back to Entergy in this contract?
Not that I'm aware of. I was asked to take a look at it. I communicated with the people from Entergy. With regard to the 30-year term, they indicated that's a standard term that they use across the state, and they felt like that was necessary for them to recoup their return on investment. I know some of the council members responded back. They still were not amenable to that response on that term. The other issue was with regard to the streetlights. They did send me a sentence that they'd be willing to add to it to specifically reference the streetlights. Their worry was that it didn't create such an obligation that it was effectively rate setting, which is reserved for the PSC. But like I said, I got a response back from a couple of the council members that they still felt like that 30-year term was too long. I frankly don't think Entergy will reject the franchise if you reduce the term. That was their ask. I looked around at some other parishes, and 30 is where it's kind of landing. They used to try to push a 99-year term, and that has roundly been kind of rejected around the state now, and so what's been pushed back to is the 30. So it'll be up to y'all as to whether or not y'all want to. I can prepare a resolution for adoption at the next meeting to add this language, or I can just have them add the language to the contract, and y'all adopt it as a substitute. But with regard to the 30-year term, that's ultimately a decision y'all have to make as to what number of years y'all are willing to put on it. But I don't think that there's any prohibition against them, against selling power back to them if y'all could.
Thank you. And one follow-up question. I have some lights that I would like to have installed. Is there anything in the contract that says how we handle that? Is it just the market price at the time over the next 30 years?
Well, the language that they came up with was Entergy agrees that it is responsible for installing and/or maintaining streetlights for the parish. The parties agreed they will coordinate on any outages, repairs, or issues necessary to ensure that the streetlights are in good working order. So,
Install?
right.
New lights?
Installing and/or maintaining, yes.
Okay. I was just worrying about the price of it, but okay, thank you.
Mr. Champagne.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. What scares me is, essentially what we have is a monopoly. There's no competition. And rarely do you get the opportunity to be in a driver's seat, and we are right now. We sign a 30-year contract, and they pretty much dictate the terms. So right now, we're in a position, we need to get this right. Mr. Kognovich talks about how many years he's been battling them to repair streetlights. Sure, in the neighborhood, you report it in versus an address, and they generally come around and repair it, in a week or two. I know the parish, I mentioned this last week, in certain ones that the parish owns, without limited resources, they'll turn it around in about a week. For them to say that they need 30 years to recoup their investment, they recoup their investment every month based on what I pay. Every one of us pays a light bill, and I guarantee you their profit margin is factored in the light bill you pay. No doubt about it. So right now, we're in a position, we're controlling this thing. 30 years from now, I won't be here. None of us will probably be here.
Speak for yourself.
I hope I am. I hope I am.
Speak for yourself.
You won't.
Speak for yourself.
But anyway, I hope from on high you help me out here. But getting seriously though, in 30 years, a lot's going to change in the energy sector. It's changing now. The administration just passed a deal where these data centers can produce their own power and sell the surplus power back. So what's going to happen 10 years from now? You may be able to have private entities build their own energy producing networks and sell it back to us. Maybe we establish a co-op.
That's what I'm talking about.
We need competition. I want to have the door still open for us to allow competition to come in and give me a better price. We have people here on fixed incomes who can barely afford to pay their electric bill. They're making choices whether or not to pay their electric bill or to eat. So I want to be in control. We sign a 30-year contract. They're going to quit talking to us. Don't think that they will not. And something tells me that's why they went from 99-year standard contracts to 30-year contracts, because they were not getting the service that they thought they were going to get. So I want to stay in charge. I want to lower this amount, and I want some guarantees they can repair the dang streetlights. I yield.
Mr. Newsom.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I probably, Mr. Champagne went on that. I 100% agree. A 30-year lock and something in for 30 years, it's, and they have a monopoly, like as he says already. What else? But in 5, 10 years, who knows what's going to happen? So I would be amendable, and if we can amend that to 30-year, amend the 30-year term to a lot less, what is amendable? Again, I don't know. I'd have to rely on our attorneys, because they're the one that did most of the negotiations. So with that, I yield.
Mr. Jurasich.
Danny was gonna.
Did y'all want to vote on a number that y'all want me to go back to them with? Or do y'all just want to adopt something with that number and then?
Can I defer this and we get together and say a year, and then you go to them and say, this is what they willing to do?
Yeah.
I think the chairman.
Okay.
That's what I did, the chairman.
Let me just ask this question. Because right now, Energy is investing a lot of money in our parish with the metal poles and upgrading our system. And I know, I see you already plugged in over there, but, sometimes it takes a little while to recoup that investment. So would I take a chance of them just saying, well, you know what, we're gonna let you operate with what you got until something breaks instead of upgrade? So that would be a concern I would have. I agree 30 years is too long, but I think if you do anything less than 15, they might cut back on giving you more quality service. Because look, where we live, these metal poles are gonna definitely help us out a lot during a hurricane, tropical storm system. We're already seeing that, down the road, we're not losing power near like we used to. And I just would hate to see them stop upgrading, because now we've cut them back. And now we're dealing with old frail structure as well. That's just my comment, but I'm agreeable to shortening the term.
I understand where you're coming from, and when they started the new poles in Belchase, they wanted to put one in my sister's driveway, because it was 75 feet. And I talked to them, and they said, well, they'll move it over to the edge. And I asked them, well, she's got 4 poles in her yard already. Why don't you go cut the big oak tree that's got the limbs grown around the lines? And they said, well, we need to do this. We got a grant to do all these poles to 75 feet. So they got a federal grant to do this. And every hurricane, what you get on your bill, hurricane, we paying for it. So I understand where you're coming from, but
Mr. Chair, they did start off at 99, and
yes, sir.
just FYI.
Mr. Champagne.
Again, they're in business. They're not doing this for free. They're not doing this because they like us. They're doing it because it pays. They're in the energy business, and they're putting those poles up because they don't want to have to come back and do it. I get it. I knew they got grant money to do it, which is great and good for them. And I'm not anti-energy, but again, I'm pro-parish. I don't want to sign some commitment for 30 years. I just don't. I mean, I just think that, I don't think that's fair to the people that are ahead of us. I would recommend 10 years. I could maybe live with that. And this, things move slow. I mean, I think 10 years is amenable. They are providing services, but I can honestly tell you, I don't think it's gotten any better. When we get the unscheduled brownouts, all of a sudden you wake up and your power's off and it's not coordinated. For all these improvements, power may be going out less up the road, but it's down the road, but it's going out more up the road. I'm not seeing it. I don't think that return on investment is something that we need to consider. No, what we need to consider is the fact that we're obligating ourselves to a long-term commitment. And I don't think that's fair to the people that are going to come behind us. I think we need to give them a number. I would recommend, I would offer 10 years, see where it goes. If they do a great job, I would have no problem continuing another 10 years. But I think anything beyond that is a stretch. I yield.
I agree, because we're not the only parish you hear on the news that's got energy problems.
Is there anybody from Entergy?
Mr. Edwards, I don't see him here.
I was just gonna tell Mitch, those metal poles in their best interest, because they wouldn't have to do less work after hurricane, so that really benefit. I'd have to wait on terms of the amount of years. I don't know where I'm at, whether it's 20, I was thinking of 20, so I don't know if 10 is mine, but I'm open to it. But right now, I don't have a year amount.
Well, if everybody would call me during the week and give me what you willing to do, how many years, and we'll get with Mr. Garrett and redo it. I'll defer this item.
Nine B, an ordinance to amend the five-year capital improvement plan, repairs, Diamond Park project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember LaFrance.
Also for discussion,
Mr. LaFrance offers for discussion. There a second? Second by Mr. Jurisich.
any update,
Yep.
Ms. Ashley?
I know there's something on the agenda today, to vote on for Diamond Park as it relates to funding. We do have an update there. We were awarded a $25,000 appropriation for the park, which we should receive, later on this year. That needs to be spent by June, so we can add that to our current funding that we have. And I do believe there's another possibility for another $25,000 to come along this year or early next year for the site, for the park. We are ready to go back up to bid with the plans that we have, especially with that additional funding of the $25,000 that's coming through the appropriations. And then we'll see what happens today during our council meeting. But I think that we're in a better place today as it relates to those plans and improvements at the park than we were at our last meeting.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Deferred.
Deferring that item.
9C, an ordinance to amend the 2026 operating expenditure budget, mosquito control department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And this is for Councilmember Schultz.
I'll offer for Mr. Schultz. Ask for a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. LaFrance. Any comments from the audience? Administrator, Mr. Arthur Henry. Belchase.
Arthur Henry, Belchase. Hey, would that put the mosquito control in compliance? I mean, they could do a much better job.
Getting them new trucks and sprayers.
Yeah, okay, I'm for it. I'm not against it.
Any other comments from the audience? It's coming to the East Bank too.
We got spray for mosquitoes over here.
Clarence Brock, 156 Enos, Cumberland. I already said, you can't control the mosquitoes on this side. They're well trained. They're well trained. I don't know if the truck running anymore. I haven't seen it in 1 or 2 months. So on East Bank, and I've been looking for it. But the mosquitoes have died down a little bit, but haven't seen a truck in 2 months.
Mr. Brock, it's pointless to spray chemicals if there's no mosquitoes. The spray is a kill on contact. So if there's no reports of mosquitoes, or if there's what they call landing rates, it's a very simple process. They go stand outside with their arms outstretched and count the number of mosquitoes that lands on them. They've gotten almost no results from landing rates lately. Fortunately, the mosquitoes are just not out right now. So it would be a waste of chemicals to go send a spray truck just to see a spray truck. So that may be the reason you haven't seen a truck.
Right.
If you have mosquitoes, please call the mosquito department, and they will go test and potentially spray.
I agree with you 100% on that because they haven't been tearing me up like they normally do.
Good.
All right. I don't know why.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Administration? Mr. Champagne?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know we had this discussion of whether or not to privatize or stay with the parish-controlled, the parish-run mosquito control. One of the things that they promised us was a plan. They were going to give us a written plan on how they were going to do a much better job of handling the mosquito issues, how they were going to trap, how they were going to do landing rates. They were going to have a substantial plan and tell us how they were going to get better and justify us keeping them. Haven't seen that plan yet. So I'm reluctant to want to fund trucks and all this stuff. You're not going to tell me how they're going to use them. You know, they have, I know their trucks are ragged. I want them to have good equipment, but I want to know how it's going to be used. I want to be able to tell my constituents when they call me up and wonder why they're getting chewed up with mosquitoes. You know, what's the plan? And I could tell them what that plan is and say, this is happening, this is what they're doing. Right now, I don't know what they're doing. I don't. And they clearly stated that they would provide us a plan. I know we've talked about it, Jeff, and you said you're going to get on about that. But it's really hard for me to spend this money on vehicles. We're just going to do the same old, and then this discussion will bubble up again in 6 months, and everybody want to privatize again because they're going to say, we gave them new trucks, we gave them new sprayers, and it's the same old, same old. I yield.
So what I was going to say earlier is that, look, we can defer this because we're asking for this program and their plans. So in all reality, I'm good. I would like to defer this. I know they're probably sitting there right now watching this so that they know that they have a task order in front of them and we want a plan and we need a plan. So let's defer.
Can I ask a question first?
Sure.
Hey,
You're the chairman.
You're the chairman, you run the meeting.
I know they the mosquito control, but y'all the bosses.
We are
Y'all
the
sat
bosses.
down with them and went over this and worked out a plan?
Let me ask you, if you recall sitting in these meetings, the individual that was out in that audience, do you see who we're dealing with?
Well,
Okay.
you still the boss. and
I'm the
you-
boss.
Have y'all sat down with them and said, hey, let's do this, this, and this, or have
Well, you know what? They're
Yes, we-
taking care of themselves is what they're doing, and yes, we have.
Thank you.
Well, we're gonna yield. We're gonna defer it on them.
Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, I want to really go back to Mr. Hinckley. That's my concern is that while mosquito control, they should be getting direction in concert with the administration and saying, because I don't want us to get into this vindictive relationship of them, it's us, it's not them, it's us. Only thing I'm saying is, I would like to see the administration say, look, we will help develop what they need. I remember Commissioner, Councilman Patty made an attempt on her own self to try to develop a plan. Now, my understanding, they didn't agree with the plan, so I'm hoping that before you take the position, I would like to hear you saying that here's the recommendation we made to them and they rejected. But I say, to make the statement without saying that the administration made an attempt to develop a plan with them, that's a whole different issue.
Here's the deal. They're the specialist. We need to work together with them, and that's
Exactly.
what we're trying to do, okay? So we need advice from them as the specialist. They know mosquito control. They should know mosquito control. So when we get the plan, then we can work together on that plan.
So you're saying that the mosquito control department haven't developed a plan?
Now, obviously, they haven't developed a plan, and we're looking for that plan.
Okay, thank you. And I would say
Well, you said you was,
that I just think we need to do the truck, we need the truck no matter what
Ms.
happens.
McCarty?
I did work with Mr. Denny to put together a plan. But after a month, when I asked if, how he was going to implement the plan, he said he was just going to follow the plan. And that's a problem, because I tried to explain, if you're going to go buy a car, you don't just say you're going to buy a car, you go look and see what kind of cars you need. There are steps to each phase of a plan. So I'm looking at this list. We have, if you can't see it out there, we have vehicles, light trucks, office furniture, and equipment. What's missing from this list, if they were to continue to do it, is software, tech support, and they need to take, right now they have everything on paper. They need to be able to put it into a spreadsheet and then print it as it's needed. And I don't think that, as it is, they're capable of helping themselves do this right now. So I feel like I made a mistake last time when I voted to allow it to continue, but they have had a good bit of time, and they will continue to have time because we're moving this to the next meeting to try and get together. And so I'm making this comment because also I know that they're listening, because I've just said what they need to do. Okay, thank you. I yield.
That are being deferred. D?
An ordinance authorizing the acceptance of a donation for Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness Department and to amend the 2026 General Fund Operating Revenue and Expenditure Budgets, Homeland Security Emergency Preparedness Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And this is for Councilmember Schultz.
I'll offer for Mr. Schultz. Is there a second? Second by Mr. Champagne. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Council? Machines open. It passes 8-0.
Item E was deferred. F, an ordinance to amend the 2026 Library Services Fund Operating Expenditure Budget, Libraries General Department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Gui.
Dr. Gui offers, Mr. Edwards seconds. Is there any comments from the audience? Administrate, audience. Yes, sir.
Be quick.
Gotta be quick, gotta be quick.
Oh, I'm for it, but I'm also for, I'm off the Henry from Belshake. Belshake need a whole new library. I've been saying that for the last 15 years. Get Belshake a new library.
Clarence Block 156, Enos Campbell Lane. The library over here, where is it? I can't find it. I think it fell down. It was the side of a mailbox right in front of the community center. It's gone.
Yeah, you got it.
That's not on the agenda, but I could answer you, but it's not on the
The
agenda.
library, so we can't talk about
Dow
library.
Chase Library.
Well, we talking about libraries. We don't even have a library.
We don't have a library, and that wasn't a library, that was something that, Mr. Proclamations administrator set up, a book, a box that you could do all over the country.
Okay, so we don't have a library.
No, you know we don't have a library.
All right, so we talking about, so since we talking about funding going to library, can we get a library on our side?
Point of order, Mr. Chairman, let's stick with the agenda.
I said it was not on the agenda.
Okay, all right, I'm sorry.
Any other comments from the administration, audience? Council, machines open. Passes 8-0.
G, an ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvement plan for road repairs, Noble Manor project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember McCarty.
I offer and I ask for a second.
Ms. McCarty offers there a second.
Second.
Second by Mr. LaFrance. Any comments from the audience?
Or behind the Belshake. Council Lady McCarthy, would that take care of all the roads in Noble Manor? Okay, cause,
We're not even looking at all the.
yeah, I know they have a lot.
There are 2 roads
Yeah.
that we're not even looking at right now.
All right.
Any other comments from the audience? Administration, audience?
Adam Jolliker, 102 Victoria Drive. I know for sure Victoria Drive is one of the worst streets that Noble Manor has. When it rains, the street starts to move, starts to float. That's just that's just Victoria. Royal Crescent is right behind it, where it's falling apart.
Different panels.
When the further part of Victoria is sinking so much that a Chevy Tahoe can't even drive through it. I wish we can get some more money to be able to replace a lot more of these roads, or just to fix them better. Because patchwork is only going to work for so long. And, it's sad to see that.
because I've been living on this street for over 20 years. And at one time, I felt like Noble Manor was almost like a jewel to Belle Chase. You know, growing up there, you know, it's fallen to the wayside, and it's really sad to see how bad and how ignored Noble Manor is being. And then I hope to see that, you know, I don't often come up here to talk, but the one time I do want to talk, I hope y'all listen. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from the audience? Administration? Mr. Champagne?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I looked at this piece of ordinance. I know we're focusing on repairing infrastructure, so I called the engineering department and found out, you know, what exactly do we need? And obviously, Jonah confirmed what Ms. McCarty said, that literally $1.8 million for Noble Manor, and that's substantial. But, you know, that's only a small piece of District 5. You got a big district, you know. There's other areas I'm sure that need repairs. I'd like to see money go other places, but I said, what do you need now to do a phased approach? Because everything we've been doing is phased approaches on every other district. You know, every other district do a little piece more, and eventually get there. And we're doing a fine job. I mean, and I think that slowly but surely we are improving infrastructure. But this is a substantial amount. And really, you just talked about breaking ground today on the first $400,000 I think you were given probably 6 months ago, and no hit on you, Ms. McCarty. It just takes time. Jonah said if he had another $350,000 to have a total of $750,000, he can do 3 projects and get them rolling, you know, shovels in the ground and make a substantial difference on the streets you already talked about. And that would leave more money for other projects, because we have a limited purse. We don't have that much money. And as we go later on in this council, I mean, you see that we're pretty much... We're asking for a lot of money aside from this. I would really like to see your projects go. I would ask maybe you would consider asking for $350,000, getting this started, getting Noble Manor fixed and see where we land. As you've seen as Billy reported, the last $400,000, the bids came in lower. You could do more. So I'm hoping this $750,000 goes beyond the 3 projects within there, and then we relook where we are and go after another piece. I know that the same thing happened with Commissioner Schultz and I. We split $250,000 between both of our districts and said, look, we don't care. We're to prioritize the projects and do what you need to do. And we got a good bit done, and they came in lower than expected, and we were able to do a bit more. So I'm hoping we have the same thing with you. And I would ask maybe you could ask for a little bit more, do the $750 now, and take another bite. I think it's important that we do repair these areas, but we have to operate within our means. And there's in your case, there's 8 other districts that need money. I mean, and I think we need to prioritize. It gives us an opportunity to prioritize that effort as we get towards the budget process later in this year. I yield.
Ms. McCarty?
Thank you. I would appreciate the 750. Like I said, this is mostly, I received some engineering drawings. It's mostly gone from Victoria. There is one spot on Cambridge that they're going to work on. There is a bad spot on Royal Crescent we're not even looking at right now. And this is not to replace the entire street. It is patchwork. And I do recall it, one of the teeter-totter spot, I do believe will be replaced at some point in the patchwork. So I would appreciate the additional funds. And I know that what's coming up later is some things that are nice to have. And this is, in District 5, is a safety issue. Thank you.
Mr. Jurasich?
Yes, in agreement with Councilmember Champagne, we have Milan Drive and Caroline Avenue in Port Sulphur. Caroline Avenue is almost not passable when you go past 2nd Street, I believe it is. Milan Drive has some really bad spots, and I drive it. And I still get caught up in it because they sneak up on you. So, and this job we're looking at about $1.5 million just for this job alone. So I hear what what Councilmember Champagne is saying. You know, instead of putting all of this right now, we do have other areas that need it as well. So I just wanted to reiterate that because we do need it. We asked for that over 2 years ago, Carlton. So.
Dr.
So
Gouy?
you're asking to increase by 750, right?
Oh,
Reduce your.
Oh, reduce? No, I don't want to reduce.
Dr. Gouy?
Reduce it to,
I
reduce
can't.
it by 350,000.
Roll over time, my brother.
It's on the agenda.
I know, and on the agenda, I'm questioning, did the administration actually prioritize what our worst needs were and let us as council members look at that? Because there are needs, there's no doubt about it. And we've got a list here for almost 6 million,
Right.
and it's just a list.
Right.
And I know it covers the districts and stuff like that, but
It's
there's no priority
Yeah,
list.
it's a list of priorities. It's a list of projects that are ready to be moved forward, that have been bid, but came in overbid, so we were able to add funds to certain projects. In talking with some of the members, we were able to put monies toward.
Mr. President,
Go ahead.
I know we
Can
have
you
that
cue
on the
in?
agenda.
Yeah,
Can we stay on Noble Manor?
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, Mr. President.
All right, well, and Noble
Stay on
Man
Noble
is
Man.
part of
Thought he
it.
was talking about.
Part of it.
We was talking about rollover and projects. This is not a capital project.
Ronnie's got a plan over there.
I don't have a plan. I just want to stay on the agenda. On the stuff we stopped.
Dr. Gouy, you good?
Rock was talking about libraries.
Yeah, wow. I'll yield.
Ms. McCarty?
Okay, so as Dr. Gouy brought up, there are nice-to-have projects that are for social reasons coming up in different districts, but not in District 5. And we do have a nice-to-have project that should come up. Now, this is a safety project in District 5 for one neighborhood that's primarily going to do patchwork on one street. And Mr. Jurisic, for the one that he mentioned, it's a road that is falling apart, but is less used. There are houses on this street. So I'm asking for the full 600,000 right now. And I will have to come back at some point, and hopefully we'll get some of that rollover money to actually do something that's for safety and not just feel good. Thank you.
Yes.
Continue over.
You good? Any other comments? Machine's open. Mr. Champagne, can you wait up? Can you cancel that? Can you cue in again? Cue in? Go ahead.
We need to look objectively at this, and I know, Commissioner Newsom pointed out that we can't look ahead at what's coming up, all this rollover stuff. There's a lot of nice-to-have stuff, and I know what she's asking for is legitimate. I know it is, no doubt about it. But if we're gonna look at that and make the repairs like Mile and Drop, that's legit all day long. That down in Port, that's bad. Hers is bad. Some of this other stuff is nice to have stuff. So I need you to be running the numbers in your head as you vote and think about what we're about to spend and what we got left in the bank account. It's not unlimited. I yield.
Mr. Jurisic?
Yes, so Brian, you were suggesting to go from 600 to 350?
I can't afford that.
If we do go to full, we should get more than that.
Yeah, I can't
Then
afford
we
it.
have to look
Go
at
down.
this other nice-to-have stuff to maybe cut back on it. I don't want to get into another piece of legislation, but be thinking about that when it comes up.
Yes.
I wonder if we ought to defer this for the time being.
How about we
Get through
come
that
back
other
to
stuff.
it? I reckon
That's
we
what I say, come back to-
Non-J and come back to you.
Okay, I'll do that. Thank you.
Defer to,
Skip one.
Mr. Edwards, you wanna?
But not at the skipping, I was just, I was against reducing it, because again, I know we'll spend a lot of money in other districts for stuff, and we just need to be consistent. I don't think that this amount going to break the parish, and it's a great need, and I just think that sometimes, we got to bite the bullet, and I think this is one of those cases where I don't think that the money pad is actually going to break us, and it's something that we should support. That's just my take.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Pass over it.
H, an ordinance to amend the 2026 revenue and operating expenditure budgets and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Newsom.
I will offer that for a second.
Mr. Newsom offers there a second. Second by Mr. Jurisic. Any comments from the audience? Administration? Council? Mr. Newsom?
Yes, as Judge Connor came in, spoke to most of us that were here, this is not asking for any money, this is just letting him spend the money he gets, and that's all I want to say.
Thank you. Any other comments? Machines are open. And it passed 8-0. Next item.
J, an ordinance to amend the 2026 General Fund and Firefighting Fund operating expenditure budgets and the 5-year capital improvements plan, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Konovich.
I'll offer ask for a second. Second by Mr. Jurasich. Any comments from the audience? Administration.
Bill to the council.
Mr. Newsom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As we kind of hit on some of this earlier, I don't even know where to start. You know, as folks said, let's just start at the top. We got some rollover money, but included in this legislation, we got to remember, and it was on Miss Morell's budget she sent out to us last, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, I don't remember the exact day. But with this stuff, what we're doing here is, of course, we spend a lot of money, but we're also reducing revenue by $3 million. So we're reducing revenue by $3 million. That's, so because our budgeted revenue is less than what we are collecting.
We're showing less, yeah, budget.
So, okay, you know, so my point is, in anybody's lifestyle or household, if you reduce your revenue that's coming in, would you increase your spending? Would you run your household like that? I would. I don't do it like that. So it's just hard for, you know, we got some projects on here. Now, look, I'll just go. The bond, whatever we got, the debt, the bond, that was an item stuff, that's got to be paid back because of, it's just got to be paid back. They told us we had to pay it back because of, we had too much money, so we owe $5.8 million. Then we go to the projects, and lineage, like I said, as we said, there was no, we didn't, these are just, I guess, suggestions and stuff, but you know, when we have some stuff there, you know, and I'm gonna just look at we're adding 800,000, if this legislation passes, we'd add 800,000 to the Blueville Community Center. We got $2.5 million currently as we sit today, right now, in that fund. I'm not a construction guy, I don't know, I have not seen any plans of what's going on, but I would think we can build a community center for $2.5 million. I think that, could be wrong. And other projects on here, I'm not just picking out one project. They got you know, we got festival grounds, $250,000. And I'm not gonna talk, but we can use that money to fix air conditions. That we're gonna spend money on fixing air conditions. Basically, we gotta really think, we're spending more money than we taking in. And he asks, how can you do that? Well, we're taking out the surplus fund, we're taking out the emergency fund. That's how we're doing that. Currently, if all this legislation goes through, we'll have less than $8 million in our emergency fund in the middle of hurricane season. Is everybody comfortable with that? No, I'm not. So there's a whole bunch I could go on here, but I will, I don't know if this is gonna pass or fail, but I was asked by Commissioner Schultz to have an amendment. So I want to put an amendment in for this while I have the floor. I'm going to put an amendment in, and this will be it's actually for Mr. Schultz, but it'll go under my name. I want to amend this legislation to add $200,000 for District 3 Park. With that, I ask for the amendment.
Wait, 200,000 for what?
District 3 Park.
You want to add 200,000?
Yes, sir. 200,000 for District 3 Park. I was asked to do, and I'm going to offer that as amendment and ask for a second.
Mr. Newsom asked for a motion to amend. Is there a second?
Can I ask a question, though?
We got to get an amendment.
Is there a second? Is there a second? fails for not receiving a second.
Okay, thank you. And with that, I yield.
Dr. Gouy.
Okay, Mr. Newsom, I can go now?
Yes, sir, fire away. This is the agenda.
Thank you.
I'm not the chairman. Next meeting, I can.
Again, I'm going to go back to what I said, so I'm going to repeat myself. Mr. Hinckley, I would be much more comfortable if I was aware of a real priority list of services that are needed. We got budget hearings coming up. We'll have to deal with the budget, the operating budget. This is all capital. And I haven't really been privy to what we're projecting to have as a number to work with on our budget yet. So I'm not opposed to spending money where we need it. I want to get a better feel of where we need it.
We can defer this. We put something out there expecting some kind of feedback, but
Got it.
yeah, which is good, you know? So let's go ahead and we can defer. Oh, wait, we do need to pay that. And what the 5 million is, that was a loan that was gotten, I think, like for Ida. There was a $5 million loan that was supposed to be forgiven, but because the revenues are higher, we have more revenues now. They're not forgiving the loan. And the thing is there's $800,000 interest on that loan. We were going to go to them and ask for forgiveness on the $800,000. But what it would have done if we'd have been asking for these forgiveness on this, FEMA would be looking at us, and we've got the monies to pay it back, so we just need to move forward with that. Plus, there's other, so we do need to move forward on the, on that loan payment.
So would you like to make an amendment and take
If we could, let's
section
take
3 out?
Just take section 3 out, yeah.
I'll offer it next.
Mr. Newsom offers that amendment to take section 3 out. Ms. McCarty seconds. Have any from the audience,
Discuss it.
administration?
Can we discuss section 3 before we take it out?
Yeah, we can.
He's getting that.
Dr. Gouy,
I'm yielding.
Mr. Champagne.
Again, I'm glad the administration wants to take that out because, whenever the administration comes to us and wants to buy a tractor or something, we make them produce 3 bids. And so we take the lowest one or the one that's the best value. Likewise, some of these expenditures, $800,000 on, for the Bluefield Venice Community Center, and I know we have 2.5 million. I'd like to know, what's it gonna cost? Do they rate that or deserve it? Yeah, I would like to have them but show us what it costs.
Ask him what the bid was.
It was $3.3
Again,
million.
But again, we should be briefed on that.
Yeah.
The pavilion at Fort Jackson, another 100,000. I'd like to know why it costs 100,000. I'm not just gonna write a blank check. We talk about the Government Complex Festival grants, $250,000 to concrete it. Personally, that's my district. I'd rather see it go to Noble Manor and fix the streets. People need that. That's a safety issue. So if I have a choice, I'd rather see that. It's not even my district, but we've done a good job on the whole as a council in taking care of infrastructure needs. I know we have repair Marlin Caroline Drive, $1 million. It may cost more. We need to discuss it. I want that to get fixed. I think that it's important. So there's some things in here that are needs, some that are wants, and some are wishes. As using your line, needs, wants, and wishes. The animal shelter renovation is $1.6 million. I know that thing's a pile of junk. What else do we need to get to fix that? We need to get to the granular level on some of these expenditures so that we can make a good choice. So the reason I asked that Councilwoman McCarty move her stuff is that I was hoping that maybe we could relook at section 3 and then relook at the needs of Noble Manor. Because I've ridden down those streets and they're god awful. Same with Milan Drive and Portsmouth, they're awful. They need to be addressed. So I applaud the administration's willingness to work with us on this, and let's get down to the granular level. And I think we can end up maybe doing a better job and doing more with some of the very dollars we have and spend them a little more wisely and help us make wise choices. I yield.
Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, and I was very surprised when Mr. Newsom saying that he wanted to give $200-some thousand more for park in District 3, because I remember not too long ago, we put some money into District 3. And I'm saying you got a place like the street that Patty talking about, I need some help, and then he's asking for $200,000 more for there. And I remember we giving over the money for it, so I just have some serious problem. And I really, Mr. President, want to recommend that you really look at what Dr. Gu is saying, because the budget coming up, give us the state of the union as just a priority for what's happening in Black Bear, what you see as priority, and I think that would really help us as we go into the budget.
Good. Let's keep in mind, this is revenues these are higher than expected revenues.
You done, Mr. Edwards?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Ms. McCarty?
I thank Mr. Champagne for his generous recommendation. An additional $250,000 goes a long way. I have to say, I was thrown off kilter by Mr. Newsom asking for Mr. Schultz another $200,000, because I can't remember how much money they got, but it may have been like $300,000 for District 3 Park before. You can respond or not. I don't recall the number.
I know the number.
Okay, so District 5 was not asked if we wanted money for the Blackie Barris Park, and I had the cement donated, and now I can't communicate with that company, so I think, I was just surprised because I needed $110,000, and we only received 40 in 4 years. So, thank you. I yield.
Mr. Jurasich?
Yes, I do see one of these projects is the solid waste transfer station. And I know we looked at this, we want to put that new solid waste, I think on Walker Road, Peters Road. And that's something we need. I get that. That's something we need. So we definitely need to look at, because that's been in the plans. I think if I'm not mistaken, Billy, we're ready to.
2018, that project started.
Right, and we're ready to roll with this project.
Final and third phase of that first phase complete, second phase complete. This is the third and final stage of that process.
Right, and if we got 4 into it, you want to complete, your 2 phases in, you might as well go with the third. One thing I will say, I appreciate everybody focusing on infrastructure and the needs, but we also got to remember, we sit here a lot of times, and there is a thing called quality of life as well. And sometimes you have to give a little something to parks and stuff to Fort, and something for people to improve their quality of life too. So at some point, we have to look at this and say, yes, we need to do this, we need to do this. Hopefully we get back on the money train when Venture Global comes back. But I think we do need to call some of this stuff out for quality of life, giving the citizens something they can see for themselves. They don't see underwater pipes, they don't see certain things, but just keep that in mind when we go back through this. I would like to see some of these quality of life projects stay in.
Mr. Newsom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I was asked by Mr. Schultz, he talked to me this morning about this amendment, and he gave me some background on it. As far as funding for District 3 Park, about $20,000 came from Plaquemines Parish government to build that park.
How much from grants?
The rest of the money to build the park came from grants that Mr. Schultz went and found. I have no idea. I don't know the exact amount. But he took some, so it would say that the government, Mr. Schultz went and found these grants and so the rest of this park, so it was around, I want to say right at $20,000, might have been 19,000, came from Plaquemines Parish government, whether it be general fund, surplus fund, emergency fund, whatever fund chose out. So this park in District 3 was solely built on grant funding, not any money from taxpayers, from Plaquemines Parish. It wasn't done from Plaquemines. So just wanted to clear those finances up, and I was asked to do this by Mr. Schultz, and I requested his wishes. It didn't pass, so it's a done deal and ready to move on. Thank you.
I understand about the money from the parish and the grants, but if we go with it, the Boothville Civic Center, the $2.5 million came from a lawsuit. So it didn't get any parish funding. But I understand where everybody else is coming from. But like Mr. Jurasich said, you know, we got the Council on Aging doesn't have a place to. Yeah, I'm in that group though. But I understand. Ms. McCarty.
Mr. President, would you like to try and go ahead with an offer for changes for a 5.8 for the bond right now, or do it later?
That's what we did. We
Well,
got a vote
also-
on it.
I'd like
And
to,
also the road and.
We have legislation amendment.
I'd like to just go ahead and move forward with the amendment to remove section 3.
Okay,
And that way we have
We could always come back on the
2
other
weeks
stuff.
to work together. Okay, we've put it down on a piece of paper here. We have a working document, say.
okay.
So let's move forward with that.
I yield.
Mr. Champagne.
Hey, just to add what Councilman Jurison says, I agree 100%. And I just think that we need to really get in the granular level on this stuff. And I'll tell you, I've been talking to Mr. LaFrance, Commissioner LaFrance on his construction down in Diamond, and quite frankly committed. I applaud him for being patient and trying to find out the best deal we can get. This stuff costs money, and he's been going through for months now trying to figure out how we can make this fit, how we can get the best bang for our buck. And I told him, we're going through that due diligence, and if it comes out to be that same amount, he's got my vote. I'm publicly saying that because we've done our due diligence. We looked at every way to try to shave costs, but not at the expense of quality of life for the folks down the road. And that was my point. If we go back and really look at these numbers and get good sound engineers' estimates on them, we may find out we actually have enough money to do another project or make something a little bit better. So I think we just need to dig down a little more and get some real numbers. So I just wanted to make sure I said that. And Mr. LaFrance, I think he'll verify that. I've called him up and said, hey, look, you got my vote on this thing, and I appreciate you doing the heavy lift on this thing and really going back and trying to find a way to bring this in some kind of way where we can really get down to what it really costs and maybe get more. And so again, I am considering quality of life, everything, and everyone needs to do that. But at the same time, there's some things I think we can spend money on that we haven't even talked about. Like we talk about water. We're getting F grades on our, not because we make bad water, we make excellent water, but the stuff that makes the water, it needs paint. It needs to be cleaned up. Why aren't we spending money there? That's another thing I think that needs to be on this priority list. I know there's some grant money out there, but you can't hang your hat on hoping you get a grant money and get grant money. You got to start spending some money on stuff. Otherwise, it gets kicked down the road, and you end up with decades of neglect, and you end up with Noble Manor. You end up with a ferry system that hadn't been touched in many, many years. And we've done a good job of doing it. But I think going back and really doing the hard work and really drilling down, I think we'll get a better, we'll get better products in the end, and we'll get more things. I yield.
Yeah, Mr. Champagne, you know, I have been patient, but I will tell you, I've been taking a lot of pressure medicine.
Mr. Edwards.
Yeah, I just want to go back to what Mitch was saying about quality of life, and I don't think you're saying it, but I know street repair is a quality of life issue, so I just want to make sure that, and I don't think you're saying it, but I don't want people to saying that street repair is definitely a quality of life issue.
Okay, with no other comments, can we vote on the amendment? Machines open. And the amendment passes 8-0. And now can we vote on the amended ordinance? Machines are open. Mr. Edwards? On the amended ordinance. And it passed 8-0.
K, an ordinance to amend the 2026 manpower structure, operating expenditure budget, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Konovich.
I'll offer as for a second. Second by Mr. Jurasich. Just to let everybody know, Ms. Taylor contacted me about this. The one lady's retiring and they want to hire somebody so she could teach them the ropes. Any comments from the audience? Ms.
That
Taylor?
was correct. We have our cataloger who's been there almost 30 years, who's retiring in December. We need to get someone in there as quickly as possible because it's very detailed.
Thank you. Any comments from the audience? Mr. Newsom?
Yeah, is this a civil service position?
Yes.
So they okay with doing it? Have you, I know that's usually, sometimes that's a
Yes,
feat in itself to get,
yes, this is the process I have to go through to do it.
thank you.
Any other comments from the table? Machines open.
Councilmember Shaver.
Councilman Edwards and Champagne. Mr. Edwards. And it passed 8-0.
Item L, an ordinance to amend the 2026 manpower structure and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Konovich.
I'll offer as for a second. Second by Mr. Champagne. And this was the hire somebody to help with painting, to help up with. This is to get a helper for the painter.
This is a title change only. It doesn't affect money. This is, a guard position is open. We want to change the guard title to helper title. It's just a title change only. It's no money.
All right, any comments from the audience? Administration, council, machines open. Pass 8-0.
Item M, an ordinance to amend the general fund operating expenditure budget, buildings, general department, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne.
Ms. Champagne offers there a second. Second by Ms. McCarty. Any comments from the audience?
Arthur Henry Belchase. Councilman Champagne. When they put these AC units in these buildings that's around here, they're brand new. So, we don't do regular maintenance on these deals, or we just wait till it breaks and then we do maintenance? That just costing us more and more money, well, the people anyhow. Any kind of way we can curtail that deal and make it more efficient, because these brand new units, man.
Hold up.
Clarence Brocks, 156 Enos Campbell Lane. Sound like these units are only, you're supposed to change them, recommended that you change the units out every 8 years. Sound like these units not broken the way it's written, that it's just 8 years is up, and you just want to change them on out. And do they have timers on these things? Because they're running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and most of the time the building's empty. Are they trying to just change them out because the 8 years is up, or are they broke? Or
No,
they break, and they'll give them a lot of problems.
We're constantly having problems with the units, these units in the pavilion. Excuse me. When they were installed, they were over-engineered for that building. There's a lot of bells and whistles that didn't need to be built into these units. They cycle on and off, and I can't get into the technical details of these units. I do have a vendor that maintains these units. They went without maintenance for the first several years that they were installed. We implemented a maintenance program maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but the damage was already done to these units. We have an ordinance following this one. We're kind of putting the cart before the horse here. We want to repair these units, but the damage was already done. So we want to purchase a new unit and phase in changes these units out to change them to more efficient units that are designed for this particular building. Like I started these comments, these units were over-engineered for this type of building, and they just weren't maintained properly. So the damage was done. So what we want to do is phase in changing these units once a year potentially to better design units. But to answer your question, they weren't maintained properly for the first 4, 5, 6 years of the life of the unit, and the damage was done.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you.
Mr. Champagne.
Yeah, what Mr. DeMarco said, and again, we have ordinance 9 in that's going to address this a little further, and I'll get more details on that. But I got on a conference call with Mr. DeMarco and the air conditioning guy who services the units. He said, first of all, the units were beyond what was required. They essentially were a sports car and we needed a pickup truck. And when you buy a sports car, when they break, the parts cost a significant amount of money and they're not available. You have to wait weeks. This building is too important. This is also used not only as a sports complex, but as our shelter of last resort. It's a place we need for our constituents. We need to have this thing functioning. So what the gentleman who works on the air conditioning proposed was, I think, a very, very good idea. So we have to replace all 4, and they're expensive. You can see they're $188,000. And they're not available. You got to wait weeks to get these things, months actually. So we get the one in, and the one that we're going to repair one that's broken, repair it, then buy a new one to replace that one, and pull that one down and use it as parts. So when another one breaks, which is inevitably going to break, we'll have a part. Although it's a used part, we begin to take that part and keep it going, keep our shelter of last resort operating, then replace that unit. And do this as we go and cycle all 4 of them out and get air conditioning units that we truly need, that'll be properly maintained, that will last for the length of their life cycle. As Jeff pointed out, these things were neglected for a number of years. There's no walking that back. So what we're proposing here is to buy one brand new air conditioner, and the next ordinance, which I can't, I'll talk to you in a minute after that when that comes up on the agenda. Right now, we need to buy one to replace one that's currently down. And an item on ordinance 9N, I'll go into more details about what Jeff and I discussed, and I think it's a very good plan for keeping our multipurpose building up and running, because it's just too important to our entire parish. I yield.
Mr. Chairman, once funded, to purchase a brand-new unit, first it has to be manufactured. That's a 4 to 6 month process just to place the order and get this machine built. So there is a long lead time to get these units in.
Thank you. Mr. LaFrance?
Yes, do you have an AC man here?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Come to the mic.
I was gonna say, you see what you said, Mr. Henry was watching.
How y'all doing? Kyle Marinovich, lifelong resident of Plaquemines Parish. What y'all got?
Okay, they mentioned that the units was over-engineered. Explain that to us.
Yes, sir. So I don't want to get too technical with
Yeah,
it.
get technical.
All right, y'all sure?
Knock them out.
Okay. So these units were designed with high gas bypass, reheat coils, digital compressors, stuff that's capable of maintaining low humidity during winter conditions. We typically, what we get, like a week or two of winter, couple cold days here or there. Typically humidity is low. They're designed for full capacity of the building all the time. And in regards to the humidity control with low ambient temperatures, we don't have that issue because humidity is typically lower. If we got a party or something going on, they could stage down and run to cool the space and knock the humidity out. Basically, what these units are designed for is places where you would experience a heat load in a building around 18 degrees, which is up north, not really something we deal with down south. So what I got with the manufacturer about, they had roughly 50,000 in options added to these units for the high gas bypass, the reheat, the digital compressors, and manometers, stuff like that. Well, I worked with them to build basically a standard AC unit, but upgrade the compressors to where they were inverter driven, more energy efficient, could control the humidity themselves, and that roughly cut 50,000 off the price, but gave us better energy consumption and reliability.
So those compressors, are they single phase?
3 phase.
3 phase.
Yes, sir. And to give you an idea, a digital compressor is like a stage compressor with an unloader, which when the building's not in use and the compressor is unloading, the oil's pulling out the compressors because, it's not made to run at a low stage that often. So what happens is the oil migrates out the compressor, burns up compressors 1 and 2, which is why we typically end up having the most problems with compressors 1 and 2. Now your high gas bypass is set up on 3 and 4. Well, what that does is creates like a false sense to equalize suction pressure, like on low ambient or low load, it dumps high gas right back into the compressor, burns up 3 and 4. So when I was talking with the manufacturer about essentially getting rid of all of that, but using some of that money that we could save on the unit and put it towards better compressors that are inverter-driven, multi-stage, more reliable, but still give you all the benefits without having to add the extra cost.
So each one, they have 4 units?
4 50-ton units right now.
So 200 tons. And the new units that you planning on, each one of them is 50 tons?
Yes, sir. But what I'm planning on is something that's capable of running at a lower speed and lower energy consumption and still able to maintain humidity, but it won't kill itself while doing it.
So it wouldn't be variable speed?
It is a true variable speed, not a stage compressor, which is better because the compressor won't be loading and unloading, trying to run at the low demand. It would actually just be running at a lower speed. It maintains oil flow, keeps its temperature stable, and it's proven more reliable over the past 45 years they've been around.
And if you order these units, how long does it take for they have to be made?
Yes, sir. So units like this, and just like for the Dave Ann Community Center, all these bigger units, they don't keep that on the shelf because, for one, you need enough real estate to store them. And then 2, it's just the cost and if you're going to need them or not. So a typical lead time on one of these units is anywhere from 30 to 52 weeks. Now, with the data centers popping up everywhere, they're buying up anything and everything that they could. So it's pushing some lead times further. Sometimes you get lucky and you get it right on the lead time, but it's not really, when you're dealing with critical equipment or spaces like we use it for a shelter, in my opinion, it's not something you want to wait on.
And when you purchase these new air conditions, what type of warranty are we talking about?
So you have 5-year from the manufacturer on compressors and some of the major components, which is the best warranty you could actually get for commercial equipment.
And the air conditions that we have now, how old are they?
I want to say right at about 8 years.
And that is the average lifespan of a...
No, sir. So properly maintained, you could get 15, 20 years.
That's what I would figure.
So on the low end, typically it's 8 to 12.
So why weren't you might not know it, why weren't the air conditioning that we have presently, why wasn't they correctly maintained? What did we do, or whoever was responsible for taking care of them, why wasn't it maintained properly?
That's something I can't answer.
Can you answer?
Well, that's just before we was here.
That was before our time. When we came in, maybe 6 months or a year in, we realized there was no maintenance program on any of our AC units. So we implemented a maintenance program, found filters that were in place and not changed for 5, 6, 7 years.
Some of them were 2012.
So when we spend this kind of money,
We have to maintain.
Would it be in the best interest of the government to have a contract with a service?
We do.
Service people to maintain
We do.
now?
Yes, sir. We do.
How often do they service The air conditions,
So we try to do it at least twice a year.
twice a year. These units have chilling towers?
No, sir. This is strictly air-cooled DX style systems. Basically, a regular package unit, just a lot bigger.
And if we approve this today, how long would it take for us to get an AC in?
It could be anywhere from 30 to 52 weeks.
That's a year.
That's right.
Couple years.
So,
52 weeks is not a year? Yeah.
yeah. So, and like I said, with the data centers and everything coming up, they are literally buying every AC coil, every AC unit, locking up every manufacturer they could to get into the specialized heavy equipment. And it's pushing lead times out to, unrealistic levels and stuff. So it's better to get ahead of it.
And the energy, the electricity that will be coming into the new ACs, we wouldn't have to change anything on the panel or anything? It's the same thing?
No, sir. It's actually going to lighten the load a lot. So for another thing was the units that are currently in place have dual blower systems, which you don't need because it's twice the stuff to maintain.
Mhm.
So the newer units that I was recommended have single blowers.
Will we be able to tie them in
What's that?
to the blowers instead of having to?
Well, so it's all in the unit.
Uh-huh.
So you got one power feed going to the unit.
Right.
This is, the way it was set up, they went with, let's say, two 12.5 horsepower motors
Mhm.
instead of 125.
Mhm.
But it doesn't do any good because if one 12.5 horsepower motor fails, you still can't run the system. So why spend the extra money for the dual blower upgrade if you can't run it?
So two is not better than one in this situation?
No, it'll still lock you out to where you can't run the system.
I yield.
Mr. Edwards.
I am so glad to meet you. Can you explain to me what type of air conditioning unit we have at the Reverend Percher Griffin Center? Because I've been confused with that because we couldn't even control the thermostat. It was
Can you-
something with, so,
Can you talk to him after about the,
no, but we talking about air conditioning, no.
no, we're talking
'Cause he's
about
saying-
for the pavilion.
No, but he's saying he's the maintenance person for the air conditioning. So, and Mr. Francis asked him a question about dual system. I'm just trying to find out right now, since he's here, what type of system did you look at the system at the event and what did you recommend it for that? Because we have some serious problem there.
So I'm not aware of any problems over there right now, but if you want, Mr. Edwards, we could get together and talk after.
Yeah, we really need to because
Yes, sir.
I like to know what type of system we have there.
Well, it's trained, but we could talk later. I'm available 24/7.
Thank you.
Thank you. What if we could get an air conditioning system without a heater? Because like you said, we don't have any winter.
That's right. Well, and that's another thing. So going with these systems with the reheat, like that was like a $15,000 option that we don't need. It comes with electric heat too. So if you really needed to generate heat in the space and remove humidity, you could actually run the electric heat too to knock down the moisture.
Thank you. Any other comments? Machines are open. Thank you. Passes 8-0.
Item N, an ordinance to amend the 2026 general fund operating expenditure budget, Buildings Department, General, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. Councilmember Champagne.
Ms. Champagne offers there a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any comments from the audience?
AC.
Ordinances, Bill says, since a lot of these buildings are renovated, and you got these units, are those the only units we gonna have to replace eventually?
Nope.
So, look for replacing new units. The people need to know. Let them know now, so it won't be a big surprise. So basically, all these units we have in all these renovated buildings, you're gonna need a new unit at some point.
Well, in your house, Mr. Henry, your air conditioner, can you give me the brand name? Because if it's older than that, I want to buy that kind of unit because They all go out.
Yeah, but the problem was it wasn't maintained, man. For commercial, it should be lasting longer than that.
I agree. But I know he's fixing to have to do something at the Buras Auditorium too, so. Oh, we're not talking about the Buras Auditorium.
Like, Pastor Edwards, we ain't talking about it, but it needs to
Oh,
be.
and you gotta stay on the pavilions.
I know, because somebody bring it up or mention it. We had a big repast down there. Oh,
They know about it.
yeah, yeah,
and
I want to make sure.
Thank you. Any other comments? Machines are open.
Heard them fish were biting good today down the road.
Pass 8-0.
Item O is being deferred. And now we're going to the
Ms.
approval of
McCall.
minutes.
Want to go
Oh.
back to 9G? That's an ordinance. You want to go?
An ordinance to amend the 5-year capital improvement plan, road repairs, Noble Manor project, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
Ms. McCarty offers there a second.
Second.
A second by Mr. LaFrance. Ms. McCarty?
I would like to know how benevolent my fellow council members are to know if we can take care of the entire project that we need. And you're not interested in that? Because I'd also like to offer for District 8 as well from the capital rollover fund.
This is just for this right now.
Okay, so I can't amend it that way.
You can amend this
Amount?
ordinance.
So for discussion, would people entertain doing the,
Are you offering this for discussion or?
right now, I'm offering for discussion.
Oh, Ms. McCarty offers for discussion. Mr. LaFrance, you still second?
Thank you. I'm trying to ascertain whether or not my fellow council members would entertain the full amount that's required for the project, but to come from the rollover fund, which I believe is a 5-year capital improvements plan?
General fund.
The general fund. What?
But is Ms.
I may as well
Is
go for
Ms.
gold.
Morrell here to tell us? Mr. Henry?
Yeah. Ms. McCarthy,
Yes, sir?
Noble Manor is one of the oldest exclusive subdivisions in Belchase. So it needs to be taken care of.
Oldest, I'm not sure about exclusive.
One of, I didn't say B, I said one.
Okay, I'm not, okay.
Cause I know it.
Okay, can I go to Mr. Newsom, or you want to keep?
Yeah, go ahead.
Mr. Newsom?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, we talked about this, in the president's update, he talked about the 400,000. We're ready to go, and we got bids, and it came back very favorable, so we were able to do some work. Adding 600 gives the total project $1 million. Let's see what we can get for 1 million before we might can get a lot more done. As Councilmember Champagne spoke earlier, as well as I've talked to engineering about it, it's 750 would do a lot of work, but I understand your process here for 600. So I'd say let's get this approved, and let's move with this, and let's see what kind of work we get done. We might can get a lot of more work done than anticipated. With that, I yield.
Mr. Champagne?
I agree with Commissioner Newsom. I think we need to, that's why I wanted to come back to this saying, get you the total of $1 million and reassess after they do the repairs. And we may be able to get more done, or they may open these streets up and go, oh my goodness, it's worse than we thought. And really come back and reassess. Same thing with the street we're looking at down the road. We may do the same thing, peel that back and realize it's far worse than we thought. So I think we need to be good stewards of this money. I'm not opposed to doing the entire project, but let's take it in phases. I recommend that we stick with what you're asking for here for a total of $1 million, get the work done, have the engineering go back and reassess and see where we land. I yield.
Can you cue in, Miss, what's your, Miss McCarty?
Ms. Taylor has something she wants to say.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yes. Clarity on the amount. What are we changing the amount to?
We're not changing.
I was going to offer for 1.4 because I have 400,000. That would be the total of 1.8.
What are we doing now?
But because
600 right now. That's what's, unless you amend.
So we staying with the 600,000?
Well-
Unless Ms. McCarty amends it.
as I was going to say, a bird in the hand is better than a, yeah. So I'm going to take the 600,000.
Okay.
Thank you.
And with that, you want to go?
Yes, I offer, was 600,000.
Ms. McCarty offers and is second.
Been second
No,
That was discussion. That was discussion.
I'll second it.
Mr. LaFrance seconds. Any comments in the audience? Administration, council, machine's open. It passes 8-0.
Thank you, everyone. You humbled a lot of people. But that's funny.
10, approval of the minutes. Mr. LaFrance offers, Mr. Newsom seconds. Any questions from the audience? Administration, council, machines open. And it passes 8-0. 11, new business.
A resolution calling special elections for the offices of Justice of the Peace, Ward 7, Plaquemines Parish, and Constable Justice of the Peace, Ward 5, Plaquemines Parish, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. And we're offering this for suspension only.
I'll offer, ask for a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. Any comments from the audience? Administration?
Yes.
Council? Machines are open on the suspension. For the suspension. State said we had to. You want a verbal yes? It passes 8-0.
And now we're voting on the suspension itself. A resolution calling special elections for the office of Justice of the Peace, Ward 7, Plaquemines Parish, and Constable Justice of the Peace, Ward 5, Plaquemines Parish, and otherwise to provide with respect thereto.
I'll offer, ask for a second. Second by Mr. Newsom. The state called us, said they had some people's names to put on it in the elections because nobody qualified. That's why we're having to do this. Any comments from the audience? Administration, council, machines are open.
No.
They
No.
do.
When there's a vacancy in Justice of the Peace, the Supreme Court does it because they're a judge. There's a vacancy in Constable, y'all would do it. But what we have here is on the Justice of the Peace Ward 7, no one qualified to run for that seat. So whoever the Supreme Court has in it now serves in it, but we have to call a special election because you can't have an election with nobody on the ballot. And the other one, the constable for Ward 5, is in place. She qualified to run for reelection, but then has since withdrawn from the election, but she didn't resign her seat. But she did withdraw from the upcoming election. So we have to have, so her term will end at the end of the year, and they'll have to have a special election, and the next one available is in April.
On that, any other questions?
No, I'm good.
Machines are open. It passes 8-0. District 9 updates. I went to the Croatian meeting the other day and they asked about the damage and all. Are we gonna pay for it or Croatian house?
Oh,
What happened?
I didn't.
What happened?
They have a parish right-of-way next door. I contacted Mr. Witcher about it, and one of the other members contacted somebody before. And the storm came, and they had dead trees. The storm came, knocked them down.
I'll draft a resolution for you to introduce at the next meeting. If you want us to pay it, the council can authorize us to pay it. But we don't have a budget for that. And, you know, it's my understanding, we didn't really, you know, we weren't given an opportunity to cure it. And so we'll give you an ordinance, you can introduce it, and if y'all pass it, we'll pay it.
Thank you.
You remember the dollar amount off the top of your head?
I sent you I'll have to get back in my
So many, I don't-
emails and all that, but I'll send it back. And all the rest can be deferred. District 7 update, Mr. LaFrance.
Yes, yes. The grass along Highway 23 going towards the ditch. Again, did a great job on the wall. However, and I know we only cutting 115 foot, but we gotta get that grass cut so the water can drain off the highway.
They started on that already. You should notice that too.
Okay.
Down that fence line, but
Can we ever get a chance,
it won't help the water drain off the highway. They almost need, DOT needs to come grade the edge. You got that lip along the highway that holds
yeah,
it.
and we ever get the chance during the winter, when, I noticed we haven't been cutting the grass along the drainage ditch, and now we growing willow trees. And the ground is soft. When the ground be soft, you know, willow trees fall in the canal, and the canal can't drain to the pump. So if it's possible, I want to say from, I guess, Happy Jack to Diamond.
You done with that? Okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you where you're talking about. Okay. We'll look into it.
All right, great. Thank you.
District 3 update for Mr. Schultz. I'll offer discussion of water issue, water hydrants, billing and pressure. I'm not sure, Mr. Newsom.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So, Robert Morgan's in here tonight. Thank you for coming. So, as you know, I got some calls about, and I guess this is Infomark, y'all gonna have to answer this question about water billing, about billing. Why, it's, some residents that say their bills are all over the place. Can you give an update of what's going, have we changed software? Are we changing software? Or what's because some of them are saying they're getting a bill and their gallons are going up, I don't know, whatever, but a lot, and they're not, they're not using it any more than what they used 6 months ago.
Yeah, mine went up too, but I've been using the same amount of water, so.
Can you explain why?
No, that's what I used, I would say.
If you use the same amount of water and your bill went up,
But, well, that's what it had to be looked at though, Ron. If it's the same, if it's 5,000 gallons they be billed and they use 10, there's something wrong. Or they only use 10, well, they only use 5 and they got charged for 10.
okay.
So
Do we have I know probably last year, or maybe even the year before, we put some money for some software. Has that been implemented?
yes, that's in service now. We actually that's when the bill started coming out. The brand new bill is when that software started. So it's been in transition for a while. But when the new bills went out, that was the first time. The first billing was the first time it was online.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. LaFrance?
Yes, I have one question, and this was asked to me. I really didn't have the answer. When we have the ball water advisory, what should the residents do with the ice? Should they keep it or should they throw it away?
Well, the ice was probably like, I guess if it was made before the boil water notice, I would.
Or during the borough water advisory?
I would still eat it, but that's just my opinion.
What you would say?
I would still do it, but like the boil water is just an advisory unless we find something, because we do sample it before it gets to the state. So
You would say it's good? I don't throw mine away.
I'm from Alabama, so we We're a little bit tougher than y'all.
We like our water with salt in it, so what we know.
You good, Mr. LaFrance?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mr. Jurasich?
Yeah, I know about that water in Alabama too. People gripe about our water, but that water got some chlorine in it up there. But my question I would have, I know freezing certain products, foods, even oysters and all, that does get rid of bacteria. So I'm just wondering, if it's frozen, if it does kill any bacteria, anything that may be harmful. That's something we can maybe get an answer about.
Yeah, I'll check into it, but I think it's up to people preference. If they're really concerned about it, I would just stop making ice during that time. A lot of restaurants do it. They don't use tea or ice or anything like that. So if they feel some type of way about it, I wouldn't feel comfortable telling them to still use it. No.
Do you freeze it at 32 or flash freeze it?
Well, I still drink tap water, so I don't know. But I had one question about the water billing because I talked to all of y'all about it. One person in Boothville got a bill for a commercial meter, and he's got a house trailer, and he's got his personal trailer that he doesn't rent out. And it was said that since he had 2 hookups on the property, he's got to pay a commercial meter. And like I said, my trailer's hooked to one pipe. Well, I got 3 other spigots around my trailer. So now I got to pay a commercial meter because I got 3 hookups.
And so when Infomark first took over, the ordinance that was in place was that you either had commercial and connections or residential and connections. But then there was an ordinance came out in April of '25, and it was to do with duplexes and trailer parks. And a part of that paragraph was misinterpreted in my office, and we took it as if you have 1 meter and you had more than 1 connection, you were commercial. So while we were doing the billing process, we changed some people to commercial. And then since then, I've gotten calls and got it clarified that if it's residential, no matter how many you have. And same thing with commercial. If it's commercial, no matter if you got 40, whatever.
So he'll be getting his next bill.
So we have gotten calls, we have switched them back over.
All right, well, thank you. Any other comments, Ms. McCarty?
Do we treat debit cards as cash or as credit cards with a processing fee?
It's treated as a credit card with a processing fee of 2.65% up to $100.
So we charge that and we have to pass it along? Okay.
Yes. And then you can also now pay with a check online. It's $1.95 for processing.
Okay. Do you remember the issue that we talked about where we provide a service, but we don't charge for that service? I'd like to come back to that at some point and talk to my fellow council members because that could be something that would add some revenue. Maybe not a lot, but,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
If I bring you my check every other Thursday in the office, there's no charge, right?
No charge.
Yeah, huh?
I know you're moving kind of fast, so I just wanted to make sure you saw me. Lolita Price on 146 Mount Zion Lane. I noticed something in our districts, and between the two of y'all, I live. And our water meters fire hydrants are starting to pop up missing. I saw y'all over there working where I live at, 2 lanes over, cleaning a ditch. And we had a fire hydrant right there, but the ditch got clean and the fire hydrant is gone. So we got some situation down John Raleigh Road. He had 3 fire hydrants there. I don't know about y'all on that one, but 3 fire hydrants was there. They're missing. Point in case, everybody coming up with a RV park. Is anyone keeping up with the fire hydrants that's connected to the RV parks?
Mr.
Nobody. Have a good one.
Mr. Morgan,
Don't leave.
After on the RV lot,
can you,
So if the RV lot put in the hydrant, it's theirs. It's there. The fire department can use it. They can use it, but the hydrant is put in through them. You know, so they put the hydrant. The hydrant, they pay for the extra hydrant on their property, on their private property. So it's they responsible.
you know anything about the missing fire hydrant?
No, that's the first time I heard. First time I heard of that.
Me too, but
That's what is just in my area.
Well,
Ms. McCarty,
if Mr.
Robert and I are working together. We can't fix them, we replace them.
Robert,
you can't come back up.
Robert.
You can't come back up.
so
It's still biting.
it's just logical that if a fire hydrant's missing, then we have some sort of shutoff valve there that should still be in the ground. So you would find that shutoff valve to cover the hole so the water's not coming out, right? And you don't have nothing there at all? That's kind of odd.
No, but like you have a.
Yeah, you have to have something to shut it off.
Can you,
Fire hydrants don't just go missing.
Right. If somebody removed it, you'd have to have something there to shut it off.
Mr.
We never.
Robert, just find out the location and take a look.
Got a queue in, but one other fire hydrant on El Dorado Drive, are we ever gonna replace that one, that truck ran over?
We actually waiting on hydrants. We ordered them back in June the 20th, and they still haven't came in. We ordered 20, then we ordered 100 more, and that's the problem. It's taking a long time to come in. The time before that, we ordered I think 10 or 20, and it took 6 months to come in.
Maybe we should go to the scrap yard, they might have some fire hydrants for us.
Yeah.
But I have a motion to adjourn by Mr. Champagne, second by Mr. News, Jurisich. Machines are open.
It's not the woman, it's the man.
Passes 7 with one vote no. Let the record show we adjourn at 4:17 PM.